So yesterday, as I came with a bicycle to father again, I see mom at the graveyard just entering like this. From a distance, I saw mom entering a graveyard, rear of the graveyard. I'm gonna get there like this. But by the time I arrived there and pulled the telephone out, mom already entered the graveyard. So let's see if it's gonna allow me to progress forward. It's really not obedient today. Ah, there you go. That adds a little bit extra to mental problems, this computer with the internet and everything. I see the mom, as I stated, entering from the distance with another guy, with some male guy, and pushing my father on a wheelchair in the graveyard, the rear of the graveyard. We don't have the grave here. We have grave on the other side of the graveyard. Our grave is right there in the distance. You cannot see it from here, but you can see it's not a chapel, it's like a morgue. It's right on the half of the graveyard. And alright, so when it comes to our grave, you would just go down here like this, and then you would enter the graveyard here. And the grave would be located on this side, not on that side. Not on the left, but on the right side as you enter the graveyard. So now let's go back to the rear of the graveyard. Mom enters the graveyard here. I'm not saying that anything is strange about that. All through you will realize it is a lot of strange shit about this whole fucking monkey thing. And she walks with a guy, with a male, on the graveyard, as she keeps going all the way to the end and start to go even a little bit up there. And meanwhile, I'll pull the camera out and I start to video record my mom. And this is the thing. That's what I will be talking to you about also. Not only about my mother spending time on a graveyard, with which police drove me totally insane. They drove me nuts with mother posing with the father on the wheelchair on the graveyard, driving him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. They drove me absolutely insane with this issue. But also about what went on over the course of the time with the police, with the Central Intelligence Agency, with the FBI, with the companies, such as software companies, psychiatrists, better cops, police. They were obsessed with the investigation department in respect to the software. Of course, nothing more than with a camera software, timestamp, high definition software, and so on. That's what this video is going to be about. And so, as I hold in my hands, by the way, you're watching Outer Times program. As I am holding in my hands this camera right here, this is known as open camera. It's known as an open camera. Its settings, before we get to this issue, this rarely I have used, and its settings of this camera, when it comes to the camera, are set to 1920 and 1080, I think it is, high HD resolution, right? And then you have the just for the pictures, the way you see it, that one you have is set up to 1440 by 720. And this is a very, very funny display, this camera. It's a shitty display, really. For me to demonstrate you what display looks like, the first thing I'm gonna do is, yeah, there you go. I'm gonna turn around like this, so now you can see better these features right there. So on your right hand you have a camera, you can see, and on your left side you have the feature which is used to turn around the picture. You see that feature. And in the middle you have what you would squeeze, right? Well, this is a big fucking question mark. That's where the fucking question mark is. Police have recently noted that I am using this kind of software, and it's exactly the software they have. This is also the stuff I'll be talking in this video. Highly evaluated, very, very closely evaluated. Shitty software, idiotic software, as anything can be idiotically done. Schizophrenia, paranoia software is what I'm holding in my hands right there. This is shit, garbage. Usually you would have on the left hand a feature that would allow you to set photos, and on the right hand, as you see, or vice versa, it doesn't really matter, which would allow you to set camera on a video recordings, right? But in this case you have a fucking stupid feature that allows you to switch this lousy thing here that you see. Let me demonstrate you. That allows you to switch the screen recording, basically the side of the camera, front to rear. You see this shit? Now you can see me, right? Now you can see yourself, you can see the screen. So this lousy fucking feature here destroyed me 2 videos, this lousy feature. And this lousy software was one of the weapons in hands of garbage whom I presented as Novo Mesto Police Department. We're talking about the animals located at this police station right here in Novo Mesto. In particular, the people who played with the software I am referring to you about are Director Igor Juršić and the funny man Andrej Štefanić, the funny guy. This trash that you see here, who serves to the Slovenian police as a Novo Mesto police director, is the one who was playing with this kind of issues, also with a guy whose name is Andrej Štefanić. And they love this stuff, which they have brainwashed me. They knew that this don't have to be a genius, you don't have to be Einstein, because FBI and Central Intelligence Agency have established through this case, knowing exactly the stuff I would be doing, literally without money, therefore penniless, reduce the amount of options when it comes to HD camera software and timestamp cameras. And this camera of mine, I have in particular, talking about the Androids here that I have, but not only Androids, forget about Androids, but the free options with the timestamp camera, so shitty. I don't give you the option of the full HD or even HD. They give you like option like 960 by 540 maximum resolution, let's say, or on a little shittier smartphone that I have, the maximum resolution would be like I don't know, 480 by some shit like this. I don't know, 940 or something like that. Crap. So yes, when you use this kind of camera here that I demonstrated you, it comes with the benefits. This comes with the benefits. This gives you an option of having the ability to video record even with a 1920 by 1080, which is a high HD, and or option of using 1280 by 720, and I'm not even sure about that one. I think it gives you in respect to 16 to whatever ratio, 16 to I don't know, 16, I don't know what's the ratio, 16 to 12 or 16 to 8, I don't know what it is. 1440 by 720, it gives you a better resolution, and it gives you the ability to choose from within what is known as bits, right? More of the bits per second, the higher is going to be the data that you will use, the less storage you will have for your videos, for audios and stuff like that. So it gives you the ability to adjust bit rates and frame rates and also resolution of the video. So they knew that I will be using, because this shit is free, and the software that this camera came with actually is the same software that all cheap Androids come with. They suck, they stink. So they absolutely knew that this will be it. So with the Central Intelligence Agency, with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, they have established certain schizophrenia paranoia routes, basically by creating a selection which would, based on a pure logic, reduce you to this fucking crazy software known as Open Camera. Yeah, I really fucked myself up. I even accused my mom of deleting me the video the other day in respect to helmets. Police, therefore, two cretins from Novo Mesto police station. I would not refer to these cretins as a police. Before I close this down, I'm going to demonstrate you what it's like when you take a photo with this garbage. When you take a photo with this garbage, you just click here. That was a photo. You could see one flying, right? You could. We can do it again so that you just play how it's gonna fly. Look at it. Wow, you can see it. And now if you do the video, that's a different story. Then you would go here, you would click. And what makes things even more fucked up, crazier, is that you do have to click the fucking thing again to video record. Hopefully it's going to turn to red. Oh, there you go. You can see red. Now it's video recording the garbage. So this is a piece of shit. Schizophrenic garbage. And this here will give you the ability to turn around the picture. Like I said, I never use a camera, I should say. Like I said, I never ever use this. Alright, man, is it gonna... what the hell is it doing now? It's better for me to demonstrate on this thing here. So you can see, right, that it switched the front and the rear camera. You can see that clearly like this, right? What is cretin, the two animals that I mentioned from Novo Mesto police station, what they would do is, it wouldn't be only them, they would also do this, they would also use other cretins. Whatever they would be presenting me during MK Ultra, brainwashing me with. And one of the things they knew, and what was extremely involved in it, of course, were helmets. Bike helmets, for which they threatened me they're going to put me penalties, all kinds of stuff went on. Including with a store from Hofer, where the other day they had a sale of these helmets. And on the day when the sale should have been done, there was no helmets. Something that with a cheesy smile, Ursula von der Leyen, it's not Joachim Scholz. Joachim is husband from Angela Merkel. But what is his name? Olaf Scholz, that's right. They all knew about the fucking games of Novo Mesto police and the local Hofer store. Hofer store is not a Lidl. You have Lidl and you have Hofer store also. Hofer store also is known as Aldi. In the US you have all of a sudden a lot of stores by the name Aldi that spread through the US. That's exactly the store we're talking about. It's a German store, in particular from Vienna, from Austria I think it is, because it was Sebastian Kurz that would continue to deliver me with other Austrian politicians to this headquarters of the Hofer store. And I don't really know about this shit because it was also in the Germany. I might be totally mistaken about. I think it was Aldi and Hofer and the two merged together. Let's be, because I used to know the original owner of the Aldi, the German guy from even original small store in the Germany and stuff like this. They would deliver me to. And so now the thing is that they knew about all this shit. They were establishing this kind of stuff. And for every incident they knew, because this is what we are talking about. We are talking about this fucking software here and how crazy, how appealing, insane through the crime was this issue presented to me for me to present myself literally as a paranoid schizophrenic. It almost happened a few minutes ago. Every issue and everything was a crime, right? And so when you want to expose the crime, that's, especially if they do the stuff like they did to me, you will go and you will denounce this to the public, the stuff like this, happily, when you come across, right? And so they for every issue they were using this software, this fucking software of open camera, and were presenting to me this in a way that they were sure that at one point in time I'm going to come across this open camera, and what's going to happen is it's going to be, feeling of that you recorded something and that they deleted. They all the time brainwash me how the telephones are going to be connected remotely to their telephones and how they're going to even have ability to edit the videos. This is the degree of the paranoia we're talking about. The animals from Novo Mesto police station, none more than investigation department, insisted how the videos even are going to be modified on the fucking telephones. And guess what happened? The only thing Americans did with British, they would give you like a presentation, a short presentation, sitting in front of you and say, yeah, by the way, you know that editing videos on the telephones is not possible, and this while laughing in my face. That's how the FBI directors did. Stuff that I mentioned to you about the FBI directors, you're gonna have a lot of fucking problem with this stuff. Because I explain the way you did this stuff so that people can understand what you did. You're the one who threw me into psychiatric hospital in 2012. The way they presented this issue was in such a way that after 20 years of brainwash, solid brainwash, on how they're going to modify me, the videos on the telephone, through the software, obviously defective software, which CIA, FBI probably even paid for. To be free, just for you. They used to say just for you. The next video I'm going to put, it's going to be about the telephone, the way they created the telephone for me, a special kind of telephone. This telephone here, Vico Y60 from France, this was specially designed for me. Emmanuel Macron is going to explain that issue. You're going to understand what kind of obnoxious sounds it has and stuff like this. That stuff was actually involved in torture by using several different telephones, crazy, insane sounds, and then flexed into this issue together with what was modified interior. I have proofs for this kind of stuff. It's astonishing, it's totally astounding. With Tim Cook from Apple, who claimed is going to give me a free telephone etc., from Apple. The telephone, which he concluded you don't like anyways, you don't like Apple. No, I don't like no fucking Apple, because I think Apple is garbage. I think the Apple telephones are trash, total trash. The only good thing about the Apple telephones is that you fuck entire world with the garbage, so that people no longer can go and buy themselves next to the telephone they have extra batteries and simply switch them when they need to switch them. Now we are all fucked, and every fucking Android, even Androids now have this shitty already embedded inside battery that you're fucked. Basically, you cannot change by yourself. You can do nothing about it. That's the only thing. That's the only good thing that Apple did. Yeah, of course, for others who have $2,000-3,000 to pay for a higher resolution camera, which of course you very much need, they did much more. Yes, of course. I don't like Apple. I never like one. It's a garbage. And Tim Cook, frankly, is a Tim Crook. They used to call him a Tim Crook. Now I am also a strong believer of Tim Crook, not any kind of Tim Cook. He was coming here so humble, claimed that that Apple owes me, I don't know how much money, half of the company, more. Claimed that he is so worried about me, that he so cares about me, together with the Bill Gates, and that he wants to give me so much the Apple telephone. But this Apple telephone just never came. The other thing, I told him that I don't like that stuff anyways. $200-300 telephone, whatever it was. I just am happy to have a telephone for 30 euros. That he found a way basically to say, oh well, you don't like one anyways. You know, I don't know who like people like this, but this is trash. This is trash. It's not crook, it's a trash, it's a garbage on top of crook. Oof. I go explosive when I start to think about these crooks. Illuminati crooks, garbage. Trash. Knowing that at one point in time I'm going to start using this garbage, and I really never did. Now I really did. And I fuck myself by recording helmets, which they did during MKH or the Brainwash, with my mother properly even closing the doors and stuff like this. Total paranoia. For every one of the issues they insisted on how they gonna. Andrei Juršić came up with a theory that what he's gonna be doing is, with other police, in a parenthesis officers, they start to drive me crazy on how it's easy to size the image from the video. I was so stupid right now, a few minutes earlier, that I went and I wondered if it's going to be the image of 920 by 1080, if it's possible to size one into 1440 and 720. So fucking crazy I was. The video in my head, I had video recorded the other day, yesterday actually, about my mom doing exactly the stuff she was doing during MK Ultra. And also I video recorded my mom earlier, taking father to the graveyard all the time. But this time I really got it, so I was so certain in my head that was so beautiful recorded with a high resolution, high definition. You know, 1920 by 720. It was in my head. I was so certain that I have video recorded this, so beautiful it's going to be. That few minutes ago, when I realized that there is only a beginning image and the end image, I was, because of the degree of brainwash done on me, I said to myself, you fucking deleted me the memory on my mother and on my father. I said to myself, I'll go to the fucking police station to beat the fucking police director up myself. You don't understand this shit. The way they brainwash these people. They brainwash in such a way that I simply do not recognize myself the way they brainwashed, the way they did the stuff to me, the way they convinced on how they have a software and their ability to laugh in my face. The only thing you're gonna get, this is why I'm doing this stuff. In pertaining to this incident at the graveyard, it was Igor Juršić who stated to me, if you will see something else than the beginning and the end of the video, there'll be something wrong with you. And he was clearly dragging me into paranoia on seeing how through the threads I was to see the two photos which are inside of the laptop, as you know, basically like against your will, that you will be forced basically to say, yes, this was the beginning and this was the end. You know what I mean? This is how fucked up, this is how toxic this shit is. This is how they were doing this stuff. Igor Juršić for this portion of the brainwash stated me, if you will say something different than the beginning of the video and the end of the video, the two photos, I will leave you. I will leave you. There will be something wrong with you. Yeah, that's it. And you don't understand nothing, because during MK Ultra about absolutely everything. Everything is a paranoia. Everything is a fucking paranoia. Everything. About the people that meet you during MK Ultra, they always give you clue. They give you the clue. They never tell you, I am such and such, I live here, and so on and so forth. You're not told like this. You just demonstrate it. And so they always give you a clue. You always work on the base of the clue. So that's why so easily to get into the end street, into the dead end street, into the blind street where there is no exit out. MK Ultra is a systemology. It's a systematic way to confuse, dilute, erase, screw, force, rape individual to present himself as a paranoid. It's a science. It's a police science. So that when I started to video record this stuff, and the only thing I found were two pictures of the whole fucking video, which was in my head, how I beautifully recorded my mom with the father. My mom was actually giving me even attitude and stuff like that when I asked her about why do you go with the father to the graveyard? Why do you keep coming to the graveyard? Especially this road is very busy also with the cars. Father already during MK Ultra was so confused that he did not register even he would be at the graveyard. He totally displayed the signs of the strokes. So they were playing with the strokes, I believe, with the real strokes. He later, when you're going to see the video up there on top of it, I'm going to put a video about how we did the exercise with mom and father yesterday. Even mentioned me like he didn't even know he was at the graveyard. And that was exactly what went on during MK Ultra. Man, absolutely certain, you know, really brainwashed to literally see Andrei Štefanić claimed that he has they claim they have the software on their telephones, and they told me the only thing I do is I take the video, and the only thing I do is I maybe leave you two screenshots, photos, whatever. Screenshots in this case would be. Well, when I turned this thing on, this is even more beautiful. It was in 1920, the video resolution. And the photo was set into the 1440. To have things even better, to have things even better. Both of these photos, this will be the beginning of it. You can see the mom right there in the distance. And another guy also right there. To get things even better. And this is the final of what was in my head. Video recording. And in fact, I was taking a photo. To get things even better. These are... one size is 350 kilobytes in size, and the other one is in 415 kilobytes in size. To get things even fucking crazier, these are the two photos that I demonstrated you. One is taken at the graveyard at 0854, the other one at 0901. To make things even fucking crazier, the ambient itself, where the photo was taken, takes a very high resolution pixels. So the size is 415 kilobytes, and the other one is 354 kilobytes. I should say maybe even worse, right? Not better, but fuck it. To make things even better. Yeah, to make things even better. Opposed to if I go and I take right now, it's actually, the camera is actually connected, and wait, no. Now the camera is connected. There you go. That's the folder right there. To make things even more fucked up, it's really tricky shit. It's so easy to get fucked on this time. All this kind of brainwash they would do, whatever was successful, because they tested everything, and based on their own mistakes they had made, then what they would do is they would do this kind of brainwash. You see, to do right now a photo, right? I don't actually even have to do that. I don't even have to do this, but okay, let's take a photo of it. This is a photo that you see right here, and what you see is only 234 kilobytes. You see this? You see, it's only 234 kilobytes. To make things even more fucked up, these are the pictures I have taken earlier. So when you consider this, right, when you consider that then a shit like this is just because I tested, I said to myself, fuck, I'm gonna test this to make sure about this stuff. This is the photo I have just taken right now. This is the photo I just did right now. To make things even crazier about this stuff, the resolution, the size of these images do not match the size of the size of this the size of what you see here, right? Because what you get is you get shit resolution. You get this kind of resolution here. You get this kind of resolution here. You get the resolution of, what the fuck, 234, right? The resolution is, this is your resolution here. So now, if you're really not using a common sense, and you go and you fuck yourself like this through this kind of brainwash, this really, really easily could be your last one. That's how deadly this shit is. There you go. This is your average in a different kind of ambient than the ambient I demonstrated you. Literally. This information was provided to me also by Igor Juršić. After 20 years of brainwash, Igor Juršić did provide this information. No. These people, after decades of brainwash, they would come up with just the way I told you the FBI did to me. The FBI also said to me, oh no, and you know that that's not possible, right? Editing in the with the telephone and doing this kind of stuff. You see, the thing is, I don't know a fucking thing. I know that the Bluetooth exists. I know that Wi-Fi exists. I know there are different ways that you can use the androids to communicate with. And I know that I was brainwashed 10 years before the smartphones even came out, if you understand what the fuck I'm saying, on how the videos, the audio, all kinds of stuff on these telephones, because they are telephones, it can be manipulated. The thing is that I'm not from the profession of the electronic. I am not a radio electrotechnician. I don't know shit about these things. And foremost, I don't know shit about these things because I'm doing something completely different. It's not because I'm doing something completely different, but because these people did not recognize the case even in 2010 when I exposed MK Ultra in Sweden. So this is another 15 years of time lost. So how the fuck do you go with knowledge, with science against the people like this? Yeah, I know, you would say you could go and you could educate yourself instead of doing whatever. You know, the way I'm doing stuff is actually really good. I feel comfortable about it. It's true that for a very long time I hope that those responsible for this stuff at United Nations, at European Union Commission, US Justice Department of State, etc., will stop this at one point in time, right? But the thing is, you see, they just don't. Because they have, you see, more bullets in it, and fact of the matter is, they don't give a fuck. Because they don't work for the people, they don't work for the US Justice Department of State, they don't work for United Nations, they don't work for European Union Commission. They're just employees there and they don't give a fuck. They work for those that hire them to rig the entire system. No, I do not count on the Slovenian police. Slovenian police, this is, what you see right there, these are grandkids of people who committed this here. There was a lot of stuff about Slovenia. If you want to know about Slovenia, you should also go visit this place here. Then you would really know the Slovenia. And even when you would not go, even if you would go visit Slovenia, I should say not Slovenia, but this location here, you would still not know a fucking thing about Slovenia. Because to know what Slovenia is, you have to know me. Then you can say, yes, I know Slovenia. You see, what you see there are bones of the so-called white guards, neo-Nazis, etc., but the fact of the matter, as was found upon a close investigation, is that there are also bones of the children, women, etc., and these crimes committed after the World War II, even without any fucking trials. They would line up the people, and then what they would do is they would take machine guns, talking about the partisans, and simply slim them down, reduce them into a rubble, reduce them into bones, basically. In this case that you see right there, they would fill the hall like this with the people, and basically cemented one. I think actually even, I don't know, maybe wounded people or maybe alive people, and just throw some cemented blocks basically so that people could choke inside without the air. There's no way out, right? So this is basically who this is here. This is who is working here at the police station. These are grandkids of the people that I just mentioned. And I said, if to know Slovenia, even if you go to that location, you will still know nothing about Slovenia. To know Slovenia, then you would have to meet me. Why the fuck is that? Well, because both sides of my family were involved in Slovenian national resistance against the neo-Nazi Germany, against the fascist Italy. In fact, both sides of my family are highly decorated partisans. So, when you have animals like this doing what should have been considered as their own people, then you know you're dealing with the fucking animals. Then, now you can say, I know Slovenia. I see some pumped up Americans flashing around, knowing everything all too fucking well. Some get directly into issues concerning even what used to be greatest Soviet state known as Yugoslavia. Serbs hired a bunch of these Americans, all kinds of people, to make Serbia look great again, whatever. Don't try this stuff here. So, Igor Jurčić at the graveyard was frank enough to himself, yeah, that's how he protected himself. They all did this stuff. He was frank enough, he was honest enough with himself. He wanted to protect himself, and he did explain to me that this type of resolution here just captures more pixels than what the case was with, like, let's say, this photo I have just taken and presented you as 200 something kilobytes in size. Yes? Well, 234. Well, the thing about all this stuff is this: these are all the evidence, these are all the proofs about the stuff that I talked to you about. They don't only mislead you, they also point you out the answers to video record themselves, how they actually were pointing you out the answers. The way the police, in a parenthesis, presented this issue, and this is really pathetic, FBI. You know, I didn't know that you guys are so pathetic. I had no fucking clue that you in the US, in the States, that you are so poor. I had no idea about that. They demanded from me collectively, with the Germans, with British, with Americans, but the Germans are very nice for the British royals. They have this Hochreich Schlossstein or whatever royals related also to Romanovs in Germany, and Olaf Scholz told me. He said to me, well, we do this to see if you're a schizophrenic. So, brainwash you like this for 40-50 years, and in between video record himself by pointing at the right solution. We will see whether you will choose the logical solution, or you will choose the paranoia, and that based on that we know if you're paranoid or you're normal. Here we go along this kind of stuff. This kind of stuff talks mountains, memories surface up, that gives me the ability to analyze the crime inside of this head. You know, folks, these are your prime ministers, police directors, and even royalties. Well, but then you have to ask you, what kind of world do you live in? Is this the people that you want to trust? Is this the people that you want to follow? In a war, let's say, or anywhere else for that matter. Is it the people that you want to deal with, expose your family to? Well, talking about school shooting and I don't know what kind of stuff. Is that how it goes? Is that what we have as a Western democracies, as a United Nations, as Amnesty International, as European Commission, or let's say European Court in Strasbourg for the human rights, humane rights? U.S. Justice Department of State, Civil Rights Division, Martin Luther King Division, Federal Bureau Investigation, and the Central Intelligence Agency. Folks, are you fucking serious that these are the crooks that you actually support because you went and you voted? And to vote means to approve. Even if you disapprove certain presidential candidate, to vote means to give the trust to your government. Famous Joseph Stalin's saying was, it doesn't matter who they vote for, as long as we count the votes. And there was, in one party system, as it was in the Soviet Union, there was no alternative to vote for. That was just it. In Slovenia we have a multi-party system, but it's the same like in Yugoslavia. In Yugoslavia we used to have one-party system also. It was called the socialism. And the people on top of the socialism were the so-called communists. And it didn't matter which of this did you go and vote for. The job was to go vote for. You would even ask, if you have a one-party system, why do you go vote for? Well, that's the question you in America should ask yourself. One or multi-party system, it looks like that everywhere in the world it goes in the same direction. And this is also the case in Slovenia. Look, shit, I did not even get to the audio recording yet. And I do have the audio recording ready for you here about the stuff. I was going to make sensation out of it. I even felt it was like 15 minutes that I lost time on this fucking graveyard. I really don't like to see it. And in fact, it was not. It was not 15 minutes. It was reduced to 7 minutes, as it becomes evident, long audio recording. I thought that this is very, very important for me to discuss this issue, because it's more than just mothers spending on a graveyard. It was so much satisfaction on how I video recorded that stuff. Igor Jurčić even police actually did Mount Everest of the stuff, you know. Mount Everest of the stuff in respect to the mother visiting the graveyard and this road. There's like a huge conspiracy built out of proportion. And like I said, when they built such a conspiracy out of proportion, the other conspiracies which they embed in this conspiracy, they even are better. And so to get the crazy conspiracy out of somebody like this, it's a really easy thing. They embedded in this conspiracy even what they claim me, all kinds of shit that like I already explained to you, but I'm just going to go and repeat. For all the videos that they have capacity not only to delete them, but the neighbor here, Metod Yerman, suggested, like poor idiot me, I asked him, and how am I going to know about this? You know, you ask stupid question, drugged up, they were so happy. I remember these guys. He said, but I'm going to leave you a photo so that you will know when it all started, when it all ended. A screenshot, actually, and that's the stuff I'm relating to how they were even using the computers in front of me, and size images from the videos and all kinds of stuff. This is what Andrei Stefanic, the funny man, will explain. He also made sure somewhere at the end of it, he said, if you will say that, you will be really stupid. That's all you get. That's the only clue you get. You don't even know what, basically. That's the way it functions. Dots. You know, dots. So this is, do you understand what MKUltra is? I hope that in this case, I came very close to explain to you the circumstances, how it all works. There is a reason, you know, for this when it comes to money. and the right to go examine yourself and stuff like this. There's all that stuff is all connected, so the mama can do chira-chara with the kitchen. And yesterday, the way she posed at the back of the graveyard over there, the way she came, based on MK Ultra scenario with another guy inside of this graveyard and all that stuff, you know. With Igor Jursic, who said to me, if you will post this video on the internet, that's how it started in my head. If you will post this video on the internet, then you're really poor in your head. This is your mama, like this. You know what I mean? If you will be doing the stuff like this, then I really don't know. You know, he was just looking at me like this. Then I really don't know. You know? So that makes you definitely feel, based on Brainwash, that it was stolen, and out of mercy, basically, you are giving a tool like equivalent to screenshots, not even photos. Do you understand? Or I should say, as basically like you would subtract the image in size of 1440. You know, let me demonstrate to you the FBI invention, so that you get to see the how smart the FBI is. They're so fucking smart people, like you would not believe this stuff here. So this is known as a video settings, and you have the ratio 69. I selected video bitrate, just like this. This is the option that you have. So here you can see the video bitrate, and the ratio to equal to something megabit per second. 69 is a beautiful ratio that you would be using. It's about 30 frame per second shot, and here you can see basically the selection, yeah. But then you have to also take another selection, which I did not select it, and it's called 1440 by 720. Do you see it? You do see it. If you select 1440 by 1080, which I used to have, including the one with the 1440 by 720 ratio 2:1, the selection 1440 by 1080 doesn't fit well into the frame, into the screen. The proper one is ratio 16:9, which would be 1440 720 2:1. It would equal to 2:1 that you see right there. So I was sure when I saw this stuff that the photo which I have taken was actually the photo, was actually a video. I did not know, I was not completely aware that I had the setting on 1920 and 1080. Till today, when I actually saw this, that it was in 1920, 1080, I was pretty sure, because that's exactly what I was using. I was doing other recordings with 1280 by 720. Just recently I changed the resolution. I was pretty sure that my resolution was still on 1440 by 720. This is for the video. I hope you're knowledgeable. Now we're going to go to what is known as the photo settings. Here you have the two options. The second one is a photo setting. Yeah, this is the FBI software, where you have also the same, right at the top, you're going to see 1440 by 720 resolution, ratio 2.1. So, what are the chances that you will not go fuck yourself? Look, this is a 0, and to make look one like a computer, actually this is not even maybe on the computer, it's a fucking 0 chances that you're going to go to fuck yourself with a brainwash like this, with the FBI software like this. The chance that you go fuck yourself practically don't exist. If you start using the software, and if you go through such a degree of brainwash that I did, you do actually go to the police station to beat the director. I tell you what, my head was like that. Why? Because in my head, that was a special memory. It was on a high definition, 1440, 720. Today I even saw it. 1920 by 1080 resolution. In my head, it was a beautiful video that I have on the stuff that I have gone through. What mother did yesterday, she posted this graveyard, was with the police, on behalf of the police. You know what I'm saying? That's how you glue yourself, bingo. And you have the psychiatry, that's it. That's how that stuff is. I lifted myself up when I thought about that they deleted me right now, the memory on my father and my mom, on the wheelchair, how she pushed him up on the wheelchair, the stuff, the way I recorded yesterday, I went insane. She was actually even giving me, like I said, attitude in respect to this graveyard, which police brainwash about in respect to the cars that go by back and forth, and mother taking father on a graveyard all the time. She's on the graveyard. What's she doing on the graveyard? Right in front of me, they were discussing these issues. I really wanted to have this video recorded, this shit. So, came to conclusion that they actually stole me the video recording to their device and really left me not even the beginning and the end of the video, but just based on brainwash of Igor Jurčić, he said to me, and if you will say anything different than the beginning, that this is the beginning and that this is the end of the video, there will be something terribly wrong with you. Yeah, he presented this issue like in such a way, like, for the sake of mercy, I'm going to give you something that you will have, in that sense. We're going to give you something that you're going to have. You know what I mean? Oh, this shit, you can explain as good as I explain right now, but you can possibly not feel how fired up this shit is. The stuff these people have done to me. It's impossible to explain. When shit happens with the police, that people go to the police station, you can trust me that something terrible was done to them to see things the way they wanted people to see things as. With that being said, I am satisfied the way I give you the background of this crime. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to play you an audio. At the end of the audio, those that understand Slovenian language, you will also see how undisputably I managed to identify individual at home for elderly people with whom I have spoken one time at the stadium. And the thing about it is that he said at the end that his father is doing some kind of heating systems or whatever, and I said that then it must have been the way that he was at our place or whatever. This guy was involved in this case since this was MK Ultra Illuminati kid. They were taking any kind of kids from their parents, as long as those parents were this one was involved since I was in a kindergarten, and it just happened weirdly so that this family kind of sided with me. They didn't like this stuff that went on, but later on they had to bend down to the pressure of Borut Pahor, Milan Kučan, police, local police here. Police. It wouldn't be locally here, it would be elsewhere in Slovenia. I told you. You don't know a fucking thing about Slovenia if you don't know me. You don't know me? Don't fucking go and tell I see some guy over there. Oh, Slovenia is so great, it's so great. I had these Americans here. I asked them, yeah, really? Yeah, really. I said, really. And what the fuck are you going to do when they're going to do to you, when they're going to say to you that you have to do some kind of stuff that is just, that is just not it. And he said to me, it's a guy, maybe I go to the YouTube, they keep flashing me this video about this guy who was here. Later on, he laughed about his answer. He said to me, Well, when you come to a certain country, and then you have to do the stuff the way, you know, the way the majority does, or you're in a trouble. Yeah, yeah. But what about if you will do the stuff that the majority wants you to do and you're going to be still in a trouble? Yeah, you just don't fucking understand, do you? He later on admitted that he was laughing to his own answer, but that wasn't even in Slovenia, that was in the US. Seriously, I'm still glad that these kids from the US, whatever, I'm still glad that the young people were involved in this stuff. At least you got some experience to understand what actually, how this shit really functions. I had a bunch of kids here. I had a Paris Hilton crying to me with other girls if she is allowed to stay downstairs in the room. And I was thrilled to have these young people. And I had kids asking me if they can sleep inside of the garage because they wouldn't want to pay, I guess, or whatever the case it was. Or might have been everything taken in the city or whatever. Rooms, there was a lack of rooms. Find the fucking rooms and stuff like this. And all they want to do is stay overnight before they return to the US. I was still happy about having these young people inside of this house. They were coming here. I'm never sorry. I'm never going to be sorry about this stuff. But, you know, this is just not the way things are. You know, life, there is always something, some fucking reason somewhere for some shit that is happening that is just not, you know, legitimate. There's just something that's just not fucking right. That somebody is doing something, that his views are so incredibly different, that something is going on. It's just not so damn easy, you know, to explain things, you know. I am gonna stop here with this video. I don't want to make you guys day hard, but you know, you guys are really wrong about this stuff. You're wrong about this stuff because you don't take the initiative to, I'm gonna say, to alert the community, but to create a social awareness issue, which you have continued to perform throughout the US for the issues pertaining to the civil rights, of which some were not even real. So, you know, that made me feel also, as you can possibly imagine, if you would be in my situation, very awkward. Yeah, at the end of this audio, you're gonna hear me identifying a guy also, undeniably identify one, by pointing out that out of 3 brothers, he had the lowest education. Well, like a mechanic education, like a 3-year, because of the disease. It was because of the disease, I remember. He mentioned something, the disease, for those that understand Slovenian language. Since this was the continuation of this issue at the graveyard, it's a 7-minute long issue at the graveyard, and I do want to present you one with. I decided I'm going to include this into this video, that I will integrate this as an MK Ultra proof in this video. You know, as far as the Igor Juršić, nah, I know all too well about this stuff, but I did say to myself, you know, I felt like going to the fucking police station, you know, you would just go and fucking grab the motherfucker literally for the throat, man. I said to myself, they took the fucking precious video from me and stuff like this. I was like, whew, I got red because of this stuff, because of the idea that they had this video of mine, that they basically ripped me the fucking video from the camera and left me, you know, 2 pictures in it. I was like, luckily, I managed to bring the entire case to the end without any incidents, with a state-of-the-art explanation on Central Intelligence FBI designed software, which they, together with the Slovenian police, have enforced through. They believe that they will yield the results, the proofs about the schizophrenia. The helmet I video recorded the other day, mother did the same thing. I made a mistake. She made sure so the doors from the kitchen, she based on MK Ultra, the way she closed them was with this, you know, that you use for the curtains to lift them up and down, you know, with this shield outside that you use for the window shield, is it whatever it is? It's not a fucking windshield. Let me demonstrate this shit here. Because she did so fucking good, this stuff. She did this so fluently, man, based on MK Ultra Brainwash too. The two things happened the mother did so excellently. The door from the stairway was unlocked, which I previously have locked. There was no reason. And this shit happened during the time I was with her inside of the room. I was cuddling with my mom, and the next thing you see is stuff like this. And after I was done with the cuddling with her, I come into the kitchen area, actually into my room, ready to post the video on the internet, and I realize, shit, there is no video. She did it like this. And this was the sign that somebody was inside and shit like this. Well, this kind of stuff. You know, the paranoia basically. That will make you feel that somebody was inside, but in case of the helmets and stuff that I would do at home, they were using my mom. They claimed that it will be my mom who will go and delete my stuff from the telephone. It was not mom. It was really, I did made a mistake. The fucking software and the police brainwash, the way they did this stuff, they really did excellently. So there you go. This is a state of the art on how to drive somebody totally insane and prove that he is crazy, literally through the camera software. Here is the audio. Let me play for you. And as always, I will say to you, thanks for watching this video. I don't like saying until next time, because these motherfuckers are way overdue when it comes to the justice. I don't understand why they are still camping inside of the police station. Here is the audio. At the end, like I said, you get the physical evidence about existence of MK Ultra. Here is the graveyard. It took me 7 minutes from graveyard to the last picture that you have seen.
This is what the fuck we have going on now. My watch is 4 minutes ahead, and my mother is going to the motherfucker land over there. Check this out. I came for a visit to the father. She's using his visit to walk around the graveyard. And here's the time. 4 minutes ahead. It's 8:54. Sure, it makes it interesting, man. It must be really, really great for the father to get a good view, good oversight of a beautiful oversight of where they promise him is coming to rest as next. Fucking great, man. She takes him here every fucking day. So it must be really exciting. He is already semi-retarded, I think, from this shit. Sorry, mommy, almost free? No. This is fucking comical, man. Oh. Super done. So. You can get along with my mom as long as you like graveyards. Not a problem. Yeah, I'm gonna stop here, and that's an angel right there. You can see it right there. We play with that stuff at home, big time with that angel. Not with that one, but they use that angel, the police officers use that angel for the mother pointing out a white little statue at home of the angel. He insisted me that father is going to the graveyard next. Placing his monthly bills right next to my sister's picture where she keeps the candle on. She is in charge. She runs her own show. I'm not even sure if the police wanted her to do shit like this, because this is like extraordinary fucked up.
You hear how many cars?
Ja, just mislim da Asi je čist trp, mama. Jaz mislim da Asi je čist popolnoma trp. Jaz rekel, da vsaki drugim, da ga na pokopališče pel. Prav se ti povedal, da to ni najboljša stvar za človeka. Ne vidim nikogar iz doma starejši, da tu počel vsak dan. Na pokopališču nobežnice. Ja, vsak dan, ne? Aha. Pa je vse ne že v redu, vse tako ti mora biti. To mi je pa slušno. Ne, jaz pravim, da ti tako zgodaj pride, zato ker spet apso ne bi. Sreća pa zgodaj. It is very nice here. All these cars, round, round, round. That's very entertaining. Today, at least, is a Saturday, and there are not so many cars because people are at home. But you can still see cars flying over here. It's a fucking busy place during the weekdays. Very, very busy. Oh, yeah. Отличный убежный. See those black cross right there? That's where you turn to the home for elderly people. I see they have a little placard here. That's an interesting one. That's a store, and right there you have graffiti, crazy stuff. This is where I was sorted a lot. They would deliver me to the school for torture because of the convenience of institutions for mentally ill and home for elderly. Mentally ill, home for elderly. I should say disabled, sorry. So, and again, we look at the time, and it's immediately better. We lose 10 minutes here. It's probably got about 15-20 minutes lost on this portion of the road here. And then father has to go upstairs. But that's something new.
She proceeds right there through this area right there.
Okay.
That's what I will briefly stop this recording. She proceeds right through here, through the upper area. She takes the elevator, she goes down, and then what's happening is we meet down below well, we continue together to do exercise and stuff like this, right? So this will be the area where you know, mother would either come here or she would come right in the back out here. And so yesterday we were doing the exercise in this area here, which was all covered by the police during MK Ultra. They were driving me insane absolutely all over this place, not only on this property but also in the area of this property. Yesterday, the continuation of this video you will get to see under the visit to father, September the 28th, 2025. Father sleep problem. He does have sleep problems, but we exercised together. We had a good exercise together. Father is very positive. He is determined to make a difference for himself and come home with me. Go fishing, go walking, do exercise. He is determined to improve everything. So you can see right there a timestamp, September 28th. This, however, was recorded with a timestamp camera. The resolution is not such a good high definition resolution as I believed. I managed to video record the incident at the graveyard, but it is. And the video, I'm going to say it's a state-of-the-art video. This is the way it's done. Nicely explained about FBI, CIA, American, German, French involvement in through the software and through the hardware. You will get the video, state-of-the-art video pertaining to the hardware, to the smartphone. I have a good description about that kind of stuff that went on. And so this is just the evidence that continues to pile up, that mounts up to you know, before you watch that video right there, this is the video I'm going to put. Actually, I'm going to put this video below the video, below this video. I will continue with the audio recording right here, where it becomes evident that I did identify, despite everything, also this individual. This individual in real time I have only seen once in my life. That was, I don't know, maybe 1 year ago, maybe 2 years ago, at the stadium, at the Port Vault, where I also identified him, but it's something I didn't even put on the internet. There is more proofs about that stuff. About this guy, but this time I actually pointed out even about his education in respect to two of his brothers. I was wrong about his father being blonde. I made that kind of mistake, but very, very beautifully, after I made a mistake in respect to his father being blonde, very, very beautiful, I started to point out the proofs about my knowing him from somewhere, somehow. This guy was involved in MK Ultra since my kindergarten. So, to see how the father is doing, watch the video below. I'm going to put that video below. Thanks for watching this video. I'm not very happy about this one, but I should be, but I'm not too much happy about it. I got really angry this morning because of stuff I have talked to you about. It was just a roller coaster, emotional roller coaster it was. But it was an eye-opener. It's also an eye-opener. Police doesn't have a capacity to modify. Police doesn't have a capacity to edit videos on your telephones. Police insisted me they have a capacity not only to modify the videos from telephones, but to steal the videos from telephones. So if you want the video back, come to the police station and meet me. Does not work. That's a lie. That's a bullshit. That's a brainwash. Don't ever do anything like this. They don't have that kind of capacity. The only one who have a capacity to delete videos, to modify the videos, that's actually you. Unless you would have a really badly screw up telephone that, which I don't have to this degree. I really do not have. They don't have the capacity to edit videos on the telephone, and they don't have the capacity to steal the video and send you in form of the screenshots, two photos back to your Android as I was brainwashed by the police. They don't have any of this kind of capacities. They are very dangerous though. If you will remember the techniques that I described to you, how they do through the criminal circumstances, post-traumatic stress disorder, through anxiety issues, push you into the precipice, over the edge, then you can screw yourself up. If you remember the stuff that I explained in this video, it's a state-of-the-art video. Eventually will save your life. If you ever find yourself in any kind of circumstances, even if you are not victim of MK Ultra, by watching this video, you have learned how the police does the stuff. That's a police video, this video. Top of the line video. The rest of the video is in Slovenian language. If you don't understand, don't go forward. Everything is in Slovenian language from here on.
Oh, I like it. Here we are. Sem jaz zmotil se slučajno, da vidim. Nisem se zmotil, ne? Mi vse se srečala, ne? Vi imate eno škodo, ne?
Ja.
Eno tako tisto.
Javo.
Ti en tak tisto.
Starinsko, pa kje so se že pa pogovarjala?
Na stadionu, tam v Korpale. Tega muca.
Sem mislil, da ten drug to na to škodo. Če vi hodite na kosilo v Tuš, mislim v bolnico?
Ne.
Pa ima čisto tako škodo tudi.
Ali imate vi tiste škode, ki je zdaj že tisto je...
Jeti.
Ja.
Ja, ma, pa vi imate tiste škode, ki smo se enkrat pogovarjali, da ste bili v Ameriki.
Katera škoda?
Jeti.
Ne, vi jo imate, ne?
Vi je nimate?
Ne.
Ja.
Ne, jaz se nimam.
Ali ste bil peš
tam?
tam?
Ne, bil šef, ja, jaz sem šel pešem malo v Ajdevo.
Jaz se spomnim, je bilo takega, ja.
Jaz sem vašel pešem spomnim.
Res?
Vaš oče je bil tak čist blond. Ni bil vaš oče tak izjemno blond. Koliko je bil blond? Čisto še bil blond.
To tudi ne bi bil podoben velik. Jaz sem bil malo bolan, ko sem omejten. Ko sem pa imel drugo smer zrastel. Pa mi je bil črn.
Oče je bil črn.
He was missing the school for this 6 months, maybe even a year. There was something very, very bad. He had a very, very bad health problems, and they started to even terrorize him. He will have to go to psychiatrist if he doesn't return to the school.
Čakaj malo,
Zelo dob črn, zelo dob.
pa sem se zamešal z nekom drugim.
Ja,
Pa je bil tako, ja, jaz se spomnim.
A se spomnim enkrat, ki smo se pogovarjali pred Korpovalom?
Midva smo se že zvezdnega poznala. Kateri letnik so vi? 67, če se kaj ne 70.
Možno.
Jaz se spomnim, da je to tako. Vi imate brata, ne? Dva brata imate, ne?
Eno mlajši, drugi skupini postarejši.
Ampak jaz se ne bi mogel.
Ja, mene ne mogu zgrešiti.
Vi ste bil največji sred vseh sinov, ne?
Ja, recimo,
Eden je še nekako tako višine, drug je pa manjši.
Samo on je zelo blizu, smo si z enim bratom.
Kater? Kdo?
Tudi dvojčko smo si z enim bratom. On brat je sem leto, tako starejši, smo se zelo podobno.
Ampak on je bil bolj...
Šlank je bil malo bolj,
Kako bil? Kaj ni več živo, ali kaj?
Ja, bil je malo bolj šlank, zdaj pa približno isti, tako močan kot jaz.
Jaz še redno nisem.
Še malo bolj je močan, ne, ampak je bil, ne? Ja, je.
Kaj je tako bilo? On je neki, vi ste najmanj škoro končal. Ona dva sta več končala, oba dva, ne?
Ona dva sta imela, se je vratalo.
Pa vas poznam, ali vas ne poznam?
Ja, ne.
Ja,
Jaz sem vrlo.
Ja. Ampak včeraj sem prven, se poznam.
Moj pater je bil pa siv, ne, ni bil nikoli blond.
Ampak ti je bil mlad. Pred 40 leti govorim. Ni imel sveta vasel, pa sem je zamešal tu z nekom, ki je zelo podobno vam zgledal. Je bil še en, gospod.
Ja, on je bil pa iz Brega.
Ga poznate?
Ta je bil pa Mika.
Je bil pa...
Moj sošolc v bistvu, ne moj sošolc.
Ja, pa
sošolc je bil, pa mi smo šli vsi na strajno, smo hodili.
Ja.
Tudi jaz sem šel na strajno, ne. In on je šel tudi na strajno, on Novak, ne.
Ja.
Tako da smo vsi strajni tukaj biti. In,
kaj ti jaz, da vam jaz ne bom, jaz imam na mamo, mami moram začeti, da je malo vajala. Ja. No, jaz sem prišel, imam sam pol ure z njim.
To je pa mini.
Boštjan.
A Boštjan, iz kje ste vi pa?
Boštjan Alcic.
Iz kje ste vi?
Iz Krka.
A to je, vi imate privat, ali?
Ne, jaz sem privat. Ja,
se piši, ko ima privat, ko je privat.
Jaz imam drugo delavnost privat. Vse je jaz.
Alcic ima privat, ko ima tole centralno, kako?
Alcic je dobro.
Moj pater je centralno delo, ne?
Prosim?
Moj pater je centralno delo.
Vaš vaše? Pri nas?
Ne, na splošno. Je bil moj ta poklic ima ta, ne?
Kdo, vaš vaše? Ja, bi sigurno pri nas.
Ja, možno, ne.
Delo verjetno tudi.
Ne, to je pa možno.
Delo, ko so ne prijavili.
Ajde, hvala Boštjan, ne, se vidi.
Ajde, se vidimo. Da bi tako mreže, Roman.
All right, so this is pretty much the end of it. This meeting between me and him, it's exactly based on MK Ultra scenario. He did exactly what he promised. He did mention his father also about the work and stuff like that. No, this is not a bad guy. He was just... they terrorized him, and I did not mention him yesterday. Even with a psychiatrist, they started to terrorize him. They will go after him just like after me if he will not go back to the school and stuff like this when he was young, and he was really sick. They sickened him with disgusting behavior toward him, and so he carries resentment the way they treated him when he was a kid. Yes, I remember this guy when he was a kid, when he was sick. I told you he was involved since my kindergarten. He is 3 years older than myself, something like that. So, folks, that's the end of the video. I am closing the video down. What I will also do is, next to a little advertisement I'm going to display here for my blog. I think this is excellent page where you can really see how it's done, what's going on. You got to take your time and date a little bit of this kind of stuff so that we know there wouldn't be any kind of conspiracy theories about when this stuff was made or something like that. I like to keep this clean like that. I like that timing stuff like this. Thanks for watching this video. You can feel me. They feel me. You can feel me too.